You are now watching Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
I shot him 6 times.
What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. If you have not done so already, please shoot this video a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. As well as if you're a new viewer to this channel, please shoot that subscribe button as well as that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. So as we are all well aware, we are getting a 10th installment in the Saw franchise coming out later this year, and with legacy characters Jigsaw John Kramer, portrayed by Tobinbell, and Amanda Young, portrayed by Shawneesmith, the general consensus would be believed is that actor Caryelwes would be reprising his role as Dr. Lawrence Gordon in the film, as this setting for the film is supposed to be taking place between the events of Saw 1 and Saw 2. So you would be believed that Dr. Lawrence Gordon, given the results that we got in Saw final chapter, we know that he is alive, we know he turned out to be an apprentice of Jigsaw John Kramer, you would think that he would be alive and would be included in this film. However, Caryelwes actually spoke with Screen Rant recently and was asked about his involvement in Saw X, and he had this to say about the project. I have no comment one way or the other about that franchise. I really can't speak to it. I'm happy for the filmmakers that they continue to make money and that it seems to be a financial bonus for them. I really can't speak to it because I'm not really involved anymore. Now, obviously, the manner in which, the way he spoke this comment is really interesting, as it does seem like he is not going to be involved with Saw X. However, I do want to point out, in 2005, a lawsuit where the actor accused his management firm, Evolution Entertainment, and the producers of Saw of withholding profits from him. So this could still be, some animosity stemming from that. However, I do want to point out the fact that years later, because Saw the final chapter, if I'm not mistaken, came out between 2010 and 2011. So years after this lawsuit was even settled, because they did settle, he still came back to the franchise and was able to put his differences to the side with the producers and come back and, make the film. So it does seem like there is still some animosity there. I don't know if maybe after doing Saw the final chapter, there grew on to be more animosity. I tried to look up into it. I couldn't find anything. So this is definitely interesting the way he spoke of it. However, I will point out is that maybe he is involved with the project and he can't speak to it because there's a non-disclosure agreement, what have you. You know how these things work. And maybe his character is supposed to be a surprise, a cameo, what have you. So maybe he can't speak to it, for the simple fact of that, maybe, how this works, guys, they're not allowed to say certain things, so they're going to make it seem like they're not in the movie just for all of us to, to throw all of us off. So I do believe that that is a possibility with this Caryelwes comment. And you will also ask yourself the question as well is, okay, if he's not in this movie, how can that work for his character, given the fact that we know he's alive and he turned out to be involved with Jigsaw throughout, Saw 2, throughout the rest of the entire franchise? Well, after going back, and giving it some thought, you can temporarily write him out of this film for the simple fact is if it's taking place between Saw 1 and Saw 2, we know for a fact that when he was saved by John Kramer let him live, he was basically handicapped. He cut off his foot, and John Kramer had to nurse him back to health. And we don't know how long that process took. We know that John Kramer gave him a walking boot, but we don't know how long that process took for him to get, Dr. Lawrence Gordon healed up. So it could have been a month, it could have been 2 months, could have been 3 months, what have you. So any time between Dr. Lawrence Gordon was on the shelf and not basically a Jigsaw apprentice yet, or at least not in action, this could be where the setting and the events of Saw X takes place in between the events of Saw 1 and Saw 2. For me, it's a 50-50 split whether or not Caryelwes will reprise his role as Dr. Lawrence Gordon in the Saw franchise for Saw X. However, I do believe storyline-wise and the fact that we are getting legacy characters returning to this film, it would make a lot more sense if they were to get him on board, even for a cameo. But okay everyone, that is it for this video. Leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on caryelwes' comments. Do you believe we will see the Dr. Lawrence Gordon character return in Saw X, or do you think these comments signal that he will not be returning in Saw X? As well as let me know, do you want to see the character make his return to the franchise? Once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host and creator of the channel, Marcus. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. Thank you all for watching.